Yo guys, Captor here and welcome to another video. Today, we're going to be talking about how to prepare yourself to Grand Royale. We're going to be running through 5, maybe 6, but probably 5 different ways you're going to be able to prepare for this next tournament. Just to quickly run it through, I think I'll make another video on how to qualify and the rules and the format and everything. To quickly run it through, you've got to be in heats or playing with a player that's made at least heats or around 4, I believe, to qualify for Grand Royale. In terms of qualifying, if you're not playing with someone that's qualified, or if you're not qualified yourself, you're not going to be able to qualify, but there's about 600 players-ish, I believe, who this video will benefit. And if it doesn't benefit you, then maybe these 5 things will help you prepare for cash cups or other tournaments in the future. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get into it. So one really important thing you can do to prepare for Grand Royale is VOD review. That's going to be you going into compete tab or into your own replays and going and watching your own replays. So this is going to make a really big difference in your overall performance as a player. If you don't already VOD review, what VOD reviewing entails is going into the replay, watching how you or another player played, kind of looking at their positioning. Maybe you're going into the VOD review with a focus. Maybe you're saying, right, I want to look at how this team gets surge. And you go to their positioning and the areas they move to, and you're kind of working out and spending time working out how they've managed so well or so badly to get the surge, to then carry them into the rest of the game. This is a really, really important part of the game. If you are a player that kind of grinds creative and mechanics but doesn't VOD review, you're never going to quite reach your max potential. VOD reviewing is so important if you're trying to look back at your own mistakes or look at another pro's mistakes, or just go and watch like a really good player. Like if I'm a tarper and I want to go watch someone, I'm going to stick a SETI VOD on. I'm going to stick a centered VOD on. I'm going to stick an Anderlecht VOD on. And I'm going to watch them and I'm going to see, oh, so they tarp like this way on this zone. When the zone's far, they do this. When the zone's short, they do this. This is where they place their pad, etc., etc. And you're just learning from these top players about their habits and what they do and how they improve. So yeah, step number 1, make sure you're VOD reviewing yourself and other pros' gameplay. It's going to progress you so much as a player, and I'm sure it will make a really big difference if you're trying to qualify for events like Grand Royale or next FNCS, even if they're not trios. Just learning how the game works, how zones pull, how players move, tarp, IGL, frag, timing, positioning, everything. So yeah, step 1, VOD review. Step 2, to prepare yourself for Grand Royale / future events, but this video is mainly in the lead up to Grand Royale. But if you do want to prepare for future events, this is also going to work for you. Work on yourself and your physical skill. Some people, like I said before with the VOD review, some people actually focus lots on their skill. They're going creative a lot. They'll do this, that, the other, but they actually won't focus on their ability improving. So as a player, they're this level and their game sense and knowledge is maybe up here now because they're VOD reviewing and learning stuff, but their physical playing ability isn't improving on that steady increase, you know? Really, really important that you're working on yourself, whether it be going in some edit courses, going into some creative matchmaking, going into some 1v1s, some arena, or just anything. Just playing the game lots is going to improve you. But if I was going to put maybe a few different specific exercises you could do to improve you, you've got Raiders Peace Control map, Raiders Edit Course map. You've got Kovacs as a really good app, really good thing to download and play on Steam. Kovacs is really, really good. And if you don't want to do Kovacs, or if you're on controller and you think it won't help, there's an in-game thing called Scarbox Aim Trainer. Really, really useful in-game aim trainer. So yeah, step number 2 is focus on your ability. Make sure your aim mechanics are improving. The VOD review is kind of aimed at your game sense, and then it will translate into your gameplay. But if you're not hitting every edit, hitting every shot, if you're not feeling smooth mechanically, then you won't be able to concentrate on these game sense things in game. It is so vital that you're improving as a player as well. I'm rich to talk, but I don't have the best mechanics or aim. And I know for a fact that if I did, I'd be a really good player. Because my game sense is really good, you know? I spend all the time VOD reviewing, looking at stuff. So my game sense is really good, but my mechanics and aim are not as good. So yeah, definitely need to have them both at peak to do really well. So step 1 and 2 are very much equally as important. So yeah, step number 2, to recap, make sure you're improving as a player. Your mechanics, your aim, your physical ability. Got to make sure you're training that. And all the links for that will be in the description and should have been above on the screen somewhere. Step 3 is going to be practice. Practice with your trio. Practice as a solo maybe, but practice with your trio is so important. Make sure you're playing scrims whenever you can. Late game arena or arena if you want, but scrims are essential. If you can find scrims, whether they be open scrims and you're keying them, closed scrims and you're not, scrims are so important in improving. Generally, zone rule scrims are not great. So by zone rule scrims, I mean the scrims where it's like, don't shoot below 80 players. They're not as good as no zone rule scrims, they're called. Yeah, these no zone rule scrims are really good. So things like Noble host no zone rule scrims. I think Practice server do as well. And you've got a few servers below that are less known. But if you do your research, join these discords, look on Twitter for scrims. I'm sure you'll find some good scrims to play. But yeah, scrims are where you put your game sense and mechanics into practice in a game situation. Hopefully against good players. The better players you're up against, the better the practice is. So yeah, make sure you're playing scrims against the best players possible. The harder your practice is, the easier the tournaments get. If you're practicing against the hardest players with scuffed loot, scuffed everything, and you're making it work, you're going to do well in a real game. And maybe the reason you don't do well in a real game is because you didn't practice enough, you know? You didn't make the mistakes in the practice to then work on them and have yourself ready for the next tournament. So yeah, really important to get all the mistakes out of the way in that practice so that in that tournament, you're locked in, you're ready, you're popping off, everything's going smooth. You don't want the tournament to be where you're finding out mistakes, you know? Oh, why are you at the back of the top fragging? You should be at the front. Like these kind of awkward, argumental, discussional conversations need to be off the back of scrims where you're making all these mistakes and then building off them, improving as a team, and then you go into Grand Royale, best confidence, and then you go and pop off through that. So yeah, step 3, play scrims, practice things as your trio. So step number 4 for Grand Royale and for all future events, preparation. In-depth preparation. Go check your loot route, go make a surge plan, and make sure your off spawn is good. The end game, the mid game, the off spawn can all be VOD reviewed, but things like loot route, so by loot route, this is making your loot as efficient as possible, making sure you're getting the good mats, the good ammo, the good loot in quick time to then leave and progress to mid game. So important. Your surge planning, so this can be whether you've got some spots you know are good for surge, how you base on those spots, you've got refarm near those spots, how you even travel to those spots can be really important. And these spots will change per zone, you know. If first circle looks like one way or looks like another way, it changes. So to give you guys an example of what I'm talking about here, to give you guys an example of what I'm doing here, let's say you've got a team and you're landing retail and first zone pulls kind of like this one. It's probably a bit smaller, it's probably more like that. Let's say the first zone pulls like that. So what we're going to have planned, ideally, is that when zone pulls like this, however you take your route to get there is up to you. But I would say this spot on a hill is a really nice spot for you for surge. I'd say this is also a really nice spot for surge, and I'd also say that's a nice spot for surge potentially for you from retail. There's lots of other things that could work. Surge is one of those things that just, there's so many different ways to play your surge. But as a general idea, if you're able to have a few markers down to say, if zone pulls one way, we do this. If zone pulls another way, we do this. That's a really useful way to do things, you know. Just based off that first zone, just having a plan on what you do per zone will really organize your gameplay and make you do much better. This surge plan can be adjusted over time. So if you see it doesn't work in scrims, you get no surge, you change it. It doesn't work in a tournament even, change it. Figure some stuff out. The loot route, it doesn't have to be set in stone. You do it, it feels too slow, it feels weird, you change it, adapt it. Make sure your planning is correct. So yeah, loot route, surge planning, and then make sure your off-spawn, mid-game, end games on lock is more VOD reviewable but maybe you can build up some off-spawn strategies and some weird things you can hide behind, ways you can play cool angles to line of sight the buildings, things like that. You can plan that. So yeah, being prepared for the situations that are set in stone is really important, because you know you're going to land at retail off-spawn, let's say, you know you're going to land at retail off-spawn, so you can plan how to loot the buildings. The buildings aren't going to move from game to game. You can plan how to loot the buildings quickly. You can plan how to play angles quickly. You can plan how to drop. Maybe you need to purchase a drop map. Maybe you need to make sure that your drop is good for that off spawn, and then you need to make sure your fighting's good too. So yeah, really important step is preparing the things that are set in stone. So that, yeah, step 4, preparing the things you're set in stone. So you're preparing your off spawn, your surge, your looting kind of area, and the things that just don't change from game to game. Really important. Step 5, best way to prepare for Grand Royale, and also maybe for lots of other things in life, I'd say as well, is make sure you're mentally ready. This is going to sound like a bit of a weird one, because I'm not personally like a mental coach or like a nutritional physical coach, but I've got some knowledge in those areas. But yeah, really important to make sure your head's in the game on the day of a tournament, that you're not hopping on and going, oh, it's Grand Royale qualifiers, maybe we should play really passive, or maybe we should play really aggro because the point threshold. You've just got to play your game. Your head's got to be in the game. You've got to be focused. You've got to be ready. And there's some really specific ways you could change this, or some really relaxed ways. So, like, I mean, one way I do it, and I've helped my players do it, is to literally just say, like, this is just another tournament. This means nothing. Like, this is just another tournament. It's another day. You're just playing the game. And if you're nervous game 1, it's fine, but you'll just grow into it and you'll settle into it. But make sure you're playing your game. If you play weird, you're going to do bad. Just play you and you'll do well. And then hopefully and normally they do. So yeah, making sure you've got like that calm influence on your teammates, especially if you're on IGL, it's really nice to be that calming figure to say, make sure you're playing yourself, make sure you're being calm, make sure the comms are calm, just being under control of that dynamic between you so that you're not all stressed and things are going wrong. Some really specific ways to do this: maybe don't eat junk food on the day of a tournament. It normally makes you feel really slow and horrible. Make sure you get a good night of sleep. Make sure you're drinking lots of water. Make sure you're just ready to play. Heads in the game, you're warmed up, you've spent time warming up, preparing, you've been in call with your teammates, you're just chilling, you're vibing, you're listening to music, you're ready, you're in the game. But most importantly, you're calm and you're going to play like yourself. So yeah, number 5, kind of mental, but yeah, mentally just play like yourself. Just play like you, be in the game, be ready and focused, but at the same time, don't be so agitated and panicky that you end up playing weird or scared or different because of the nature of the tournament. You definitely want to play like yourself so that you're at peak performance on that tournament day. So guys, that'll do it for the Grand Royale preparation video. Also might have helped you for sure if you're looking at other tournament preparation in the future. But yeah, hope that really helped you guys. Just as a last little overview, I'm going to put the 5 steps on the screen right here or here. Just the 5 steps that I talked about. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Bit of a kind of educational-y, like one-on-one chat kind of video, which, you know, is different. We're changing it up here. We're changing it up. We're keeping the content different. We're trying to keep it interesting. I hope I came with more energy today, because I saw you guys were in the comments last time saying maybe I could give more energy. Maybe I could make it a bit more exciting, more interesting. I'm not going to start screaming and shouting, because, you know, it's not a screaming and shouting kind of thing. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was entertaining. Hope you learned a thing or two. Hope you can take something from this and include it in your own preparation in future tournaments. And to all of you who are playing Grand Royale, good luck to you all. I hope this helps. I hope you do well. And yeah, if you need any help, be sure to shoot me a DM. I'll be sure to try and hook you up with the help. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please, if you could, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, do all the fun stuff. I read and reply to every comment on every video. So if you comment, I'll probably reply. If you want to ask anything in the comments, I'll reply. If you want to give criticism, say it was good, say it was bad, say why, to help me in future videos, that'd be really appreciated. So if you could do that, thank you. We're on the road to 1K subs, probably hit it soon if you guys keep supporting like you do. Appreciate everyone for the support. Hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, see you in the next one.